There's a great need for local and upcoming fashion designers to be located in prime retail spaces, but challenges like funding can sometimes get in the way of that. Well, renowned fashion designer Thula Sindi is spearheading a means to change all of that. His project AfricaRise aims to give local designers a platform to showcase their work in the busiest retail spaces. He's with me tonight, as you've seen, to talk more about this. So, Thula, good evening. Thank you for being on Nightline. So, you opened the first store. This was in October last year, 3 months on. Are you happy with how things are shaping up?
I am extremely happy. AfricaRise in Sandton has been a culmination of a dream of the last 2 years. You know, I've had my own retail spaces for the last 6 years in Rosebank and in Menlyn, but the dream has always been to create a pathway to market for African fashion designers.
I don't want to misquote you. You said part of the vision, mainstream the presence of African fashion enterprises and brands within South African retail spaces. Put that into context for someone who thinks a local designer, for example, place is in a small area in Melville or at their house, because that is the perception, isn't it?
You know, and that's where we started. But the thing is that, you know, we should be mainstream. It shouldn't be a treat to just see an African fashion designer in a mall like, oh, there's a Thula Sindi in Rosebank. We should be everywhere. This is an African country. You know, we should be seeing African designers everywhere. So even just the growth of designers has got to be towards prime real estate, not just residential areas. Like, you know, people talk about the Lokshin economy. That's a residential area. People are living there. We're not trying to sell clothes there. We want to sell clothes where people are buying clothes, where money is being spent. Those are the Santons, the Menlands, the Cavendishes.
And that ties in nicely, because when you think of a Santon, right, people associate Santon with the best quality clothing, and you look at just the list of designers who you've got in your store. You've got Manso, you've got stuff from Laduma as well, from the Maklosa range. How do you balance the premium and also making South African fashion affordable, as people always say it should be?
Oh, well, we don't have Maklosa yet.
Oh, okay.
That we're working on. But we've got like Manso, we've got Daibo Bakar from Mozambique, we've got your Thula Sindis, but we also have upcoming designers. We've got Future Socks that make beautiful bamboo socks. We've got Shweshwekini, Martin Olumi. This is a platform that shows different price points, different points of view, and each designer is housed within their aesthetic. So each designer space, once the designer creates their own unique space so that people can understand what the brand is about. That's the most important thing about retail, is that people need to be in a busy store, but when they go into the store, they need to understand what Manso is about. So the flooring is Manso, the rails are Manso, and that brand education is what will help us grow as designers.
And I like that, because fashion is art, and artists are very sensitive about their art. So absolutely. Curating all of that as carefully as you say you've done, and convincing everyone to be under one roof, I would imagine takes a lot of negotiation, a lot of convincing.
It does, but at the same time, you know, I've got such a great relationship with a lot of designers. I've been in this business now for 13 years, and I started really from the bottom. So some of the designers that are there, I used to dress for their fashion shows, be at the back, making sure their stuff comes out beautifully, to young designers, which I encountered at markets, and I said, this is a beautiful product, please come in. And the vision is what we all want. We want to be mainstream. We don't want to be in the periphery. We don't want to be a cottage industry. The garment industry is so huge in this country, but black entrepreneurs have got such a small section of it, because we've been sidelined to being cottage industry, or, you know, the government will have those little trade shows and have us on the side. It's adorable. It's a little
store.
You know, oh, sweet of them. But we need to be mainstream in the shopping centers, and we need strategic support to be in those shopping centers, and we need funding to be in those shopping centers, because the costs are very prohibitive.
And in terms of South Africa's space, this is AfricaRise, not South AfricaRise. In terms of positioning, when we talk about economic growth, the growth of the entertainment industry, you hear the names of the likes of Kenya, you hear Nigeria bandied about. Where is South Africa in all of that, as far as leading the new decade and where the future of fashion in particular is going on the continent?
Thank you for that question. South Africa has always been a leader. You know, we lead because not only are we like geographically very isolated, but we're also very connected because of logistics and technology and electricity when we have it. So we really are a unique country. And you look at our music, and I mean, even from the olden days, the Abigail Kubekas, the Miriam Makebas, always trend-setting globally. So we've always set the tone. Now, even with the goms and the amapiano, we set the tone. So we are a leader, but we need to participate with what the continent is doing. That's what AfricaRise is about. We've got designers from Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Rwanda. The continent needs to introspect, and we need to trade within ourselves, and we need to realize that the products that we make are beautiful and they deserve to be mainstream, not something that you just partake in every now and then, but something that you see all the time, and also the ease of
makes the norm.
Humor. Exactly.
Okay, so we have to wrap, but I want you to run us through the stores and where people can find you at this point.
Well, I am available at Rosebank and at the Zone. I'm also available at Mainland in Pretoria, but AfricaRise is in Sandton. We are on the same level as the higher-end brands, so you cannot miss us at all.
Of course.
And we offer the best of African fashion, 20 fashion designers, each within their own unique context. It is just a dream. The shop space is a dream, and will soon be online as well, so you can be able to shop from the comfort of your home.
By the way, my birthday month wrapped up it's wrapping up today, actually, 31st of January. I've not received anything in the post. I will keep checking.
Do pop into the store.
That was Thula Sindi speaking to us here on Nightline tonight.